Good morning, everyone. It rained all night, so I thought I would take a walk through the garden. Did a lot of weeding yesterday, so I'll just take you along. Part of my porch, my ivy I strung up on the arbor. I can't remember what those are called. Anyway, got some sedums. Those are pink. I love my lilies. I thought if I came from this direction, maybe I would remember to show you this. This is just the middle section that I just plant with a plethora of all sorts of things. There used to be potatoes all in here. I have some late sunflowers and marigolds. And I replanted some wildflowers there. These, I believe, are some sort of Cosmo, and they come back every year. Like, this is the dominant thing that comes back. So, got zinnias all over the place, and I alternated impatiens and marigolds this year around everywhere. More zinnias. The squirrel chopped my gardenia in half. I have these planted in various places. There's a purple one. You probably can't see it, but it's right in there. Oh, and there's corn everywhere, but the squirrels got a lot of it. But I did manage to get some up. And I got a few sunflowers that managed to make it. I always like to plant sunflowers in the middle. This year the squirrels really made me fight for it. I have a cucumber and bean tower here, although the only thing growing on it currently that you can see are cucumbers. The beans are under there, but the cucumbers took over. And there is a cherry, I think it's a cherry tomato plant in here, but I need to get in here and pull these flowers out from around it because it can't get any sun. I'm not exactly sure what this is. I'm thinking probably echinacea, but I do not remember. But I planted these little fuzzy things this year, and the plants, after we got all that rain, started doing that, so that'll be good. We got a bell pepper that's setting on all kinds of peppers. Just random. I picked all my garlic. It's in my building drying. We got marigolds and impatiens. Gardenias in the back. And morning glories on the fence. And I made a little bird bath. These are going to be white marigolds, so those should be pretty. I'm going to move this impatient to this area in the front and put this fox back there. And I have over here planted 1, 2, 3, 4 blueberries. We have dianthus that it's supposed to be an annual, but it comes back every year, and after it finishes blooming, I just deadhead it. It comes right back. These were light pink lilies, but they bloomed out. My lilies don't bloom all at the same time, which is pretty good, but kind of weird. I got knockout yellow roses. I just deadheaded them, so hopefully we'll have some more pretty blooms. Chocolate mint that I thought I was being smart and keeping in a pot over here. It seems to like this area and grow well, but yeah, some little trailers obviously took root, and I have chocolate mint all the way out there in the front. My lavender did not come back, but this thing did. And it was just a filler at the time, so I have no idea what in the world it is, but it grows really well. Chopped my rose bush all the way back, and it's reblooming. We got some more mint in a pot, some more of those fuzzy things. If anybody knows what they are, please let me know. We got a gardenia just coming up. I just planted some new bulbs in early summer, so I'd have the blooms spaced out. My lilies just aren't doing well back there. I may dig those up since they are trying and put them in a different spot. We got some light pink phlox. I'm not sure if you deadhead phlox or not. I may have to look that up. Of course, more marigolds. I'm not positive what this thing is called, but I call it a daisy chrysanthemum. It's a perennial. It comes back every year. I deadheaded all my daisies up front. They were so pretty. I have some of this pink vining flower to grow up around the arch. The wisteria has come back with a vengeance. But so far it's just a bush. I don't have much to trail through or across the arbor. I have the little miniature. I know they have, and I know the name, but it's too early in the morning. But we have those up front. Right now, that's the only thing blooming out there. We had lilies and our gardenias here. They both, flowers have died off, so chop those. This hosta, and I have no idea why, but it is not doing well here. Especially in comparison to the hostas beside my house. I don't know what's up with that. This was a white Asian lily. And there I have a pink one. I've got them everywhere in the yard. I love those. This is columbine coming up everywhere. I'm kind of torn as to whether I should rip it out or not, because it's new plants. It's what will bloom next spring. My strawberries, of course, they're not doing as well this year. Not at all. I have this rose bush here that I'm thinking of taking and putting there, kind of even it out between the two, because it's just not thriving there. I think it's too close to this pine tree the neighbors have. And this area is just a hot mess, and I have a horrible time keeping it behaving. So for the last month, I've just let it go wild. This is the comfrey that I just cut back and cut back. Biggest mistake I ever made was transplanting comfrey in my yard. I only did it in 2 places, and that was the biggest mistake I ever made. Looks like we have some sort of lily coming up. It'd be nice to see. We've got sedums. And we had Gerber daisies. But they're kind of dying out. Gotta work on that a little bit. There is a miniature rose bush in here. Right there. That I have to keep pulling everything out from around. And I have my little fairy garden that looks pathetic right now. I think it's getting way too much water over here. Those used to be irises. This stuff here, this was the biggest mistake I ever made gardening too. So don't do that, people. I think it's what is that stuff called? I think someone called it cow mint. I'm not exactly sure of its name. We've got some more daylilies. These are the pinky, peachy ones. I've got comfrey down here. It looks like it's being overtaken by morning glory from the neighbor's fence. Oh, my angel's crooked. Can't have that. Got some more of the black-eyed Susan looking plants. There is a climbing rose in here, so I keep cutting all this back around it so that it has a chance to grow, and it seems to be working pretty well. It just had a bunch of blooms on it, and I cut the rose itself back because Japanese beetles were attacking it. And this is what's left of the grapevine that used to cover this whole area. We just haven't dug it up yet. We just keep cutting it back. This potted plant, it's blooming like crazy, and I keep having to pull all this dead stuff off of it. And I've fertilized it. It gets plenty of water. I don't know what its problem is, but it's going to get replaced soon. We have some crimson lilies that sadly I didn't get a video up so y'all could see that. Got some more lilies that we need to deadhead. I may be able to get another bloom off of them if I chop them back. That's usually what I do. Got the giant hosta over there in the corner with some ivy growing, and that silly cow mint's all mixed in everywhere. Another one of those chrysanthemum daisy looking things that I can't remember the name of. We got some more daylilies. I keep pulling all this morning glory off of everything, and it comes back with a vengeance. I thought maybe it would look pretty if I let it grow over that hook, but I need to get in here and pull some of it back. These are a bright orange Asian lily that I'm going to plant right there, so I just stuck the pot there when they bloomed out. Got impatiens planted sporadically. My hostas. This hosta is not doing as well as that hosta, which is usually the opposite, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Got two pots beside my porch that have impatiens, and I think those are coleuses. Got our hanging pots out here so they could get some rainwater. Little window box. And then this side just has more lilies. A couple different types of hostas. Some impatiens. Daylilies. Those are some more red lilies and more of the black-eyed Susan looking things. My hanging pots, unfortunately, don't look very well today. I don't know what's up with that, but we'll go to the backyard now. And now we're in the backyard. We have some sunflowers that were supposed to be 4 pots, and they just look so scraggly. I'm so disappointed. These are supposed to be dwarf zinnias, and I don't really think they look that dwarfed. We got some New Guinea impatiens in these pots. I just don't have any luck with potted flowers. I don't know why, but I water them, I put good soil in them, I give them organic fertilizer. I don't get it. But here's the strawberry bed that, if you saw my last video, I told you I planted zucchini and squash and different things. I think some watermelon in here just to fill the space and maybe give the strawberry plants a little shade. But these two, for some reason, this one and that one, didn't come up. The seedlings didn't grow for the longest time, no matter how much I watered it. And then we had tons and tons of rain, and they came out. Go figure. I got a late start on sunflowers again because of the squirrels. So those are transplanted. They're finally starting to come out of their funk. You just have hanging pots. I have some beans in this one and flowers in those two. But we have what kind of tomato is this? Well, it looks like the marker came out. I'm pretty sure that is a beefsteak. Yeah. If I remember correctly. I really didn't think it was going to take off, but it finally did. And it's looking very well. I don't want to jinx it, so I won't say anything more about that. I've got grape tomatoes in these 2 cages. I just love these little colorful cages. They don't rust as bad as the other ones do, and of course they look pretty. Got them at Lowe's, if anybody wants to get some. We have 3 different types of peppers. I believe this one is hot banana pepper. And this is, over here, is a banana pepper as well. Back here we have sunflowers and cucumbers. My original intention was to plant sunflowers in the back and have cucumbers grow up them. Well, the squirrels ate all my sunflower seeds, and the sunflowers got a late start. So hopefully they have taken off with all this rain, but hopefully, they hit a big growth spurt, because those cucumbers will just overtake them and they won't grow. It'll be a wasted transplanted effort. Got some marigolds in here. I threw a bunch of carrot seeds in here earlier in the year, well, earlier in the spring, and I've only had a few come up here and there. I replanted this with just some flour mix, and it hasn't come up. The weather's just been too hot. I had one lone corn seed come up here. And then these, I believe, were the same potted sunflowers. So either they messed up the seeds, or that's the problem with the small pot. There's just too many of them in there. I don't know. This is my herb bed. We got chives and lemon thyme, basil, and the other stuff didn't come up. So that's all we have. And of course we have the oregano that got cut back. It's looking tons better. And a little marigold that looks like it's about to die. We got sunflowers in that corner as well. It was just too hot to plant things, so I thought I would transplant, flowers to fill in the gaps, but that hasn't worked out. We have a few squash, because I'm fairly certain that zucchini will get taken out by squash bugs. So I started some late ones. Try to counteract that this year. These marigolds are doing wonderfully. Of course, this bed gets a lot of sun. We have I believe this is a yellow cherry tomato. Yes, it is. A yellow cherry tomato that's doing very well. It finally took off. I was a little afraid for it for a while, but with all that rain, did everything wonders. We have bush beans, green beans back here, and one lone sunflower that survived. Yes, that's the one that survived the squirrels. This is a new transplant. All these little seedlings, these are loofahs. I got them in pretty late, so I'm hoping it's not too late for them to grow. Our apple tree, the squirrels have gotten every single apple off this tree except for 3. We have 3 apples left, so I think I'm going to pick those today probably. I have blackberries, but there's a whole cluster of berries back there, but I don't think they're edible because my husband painted them when he painted the gate. Fence, whatever. Not a gate. This is the pot that I threw the lettuce and radishes and carrots in. Everything, of course, came up and sprouted. I have romaine lettuce growing in here underneath everything. And it looks like the radishes may be ready. Some of them. They didn't grow very well in that soil, but it worked, so that's good to know. This is just a cluster of leftover my strawberry pot that was here. The strawberries completely died, so it's a leftover pot of all the flowers that I had from around the yard. It's not doing very well either. Like I said, I just can't grow them in pots. I don't know what's up with that, but over here, this is where we buried our dog and our 2 cats. So we have stepping stones that our kids had made. We can't find the other piece of my son's, but there's one of my youngest daughter, my oldest daughter, and my son's little bit. And then we have our stuff for our animals. And this was supposed to be white, pink, alternated impatiens, because these roses are hot pink and dark pink. And yeah, my daughter brought me the wrong impatiens. Well, she was assured that they were pink, but they weren't. And so I was alternating white impatiens for a while and didn't know it. And there was one lone red one in there, which looks kind of wacky over on this side, but oh well. Over here we have Jerusalem artichokes. They go nuts. So I learned to just try to control them in a sterile area. Here's my other pot of strawberry plants. Need to go through here and mulch this real good and pull out all the dead stuff. We've got some hot pink 4 o'clocks. These are really pretty. I like these. And we have a hanging pot with just some leftover flowers. I had one of these fuzzy things. If you saw the ones out front in the ground and then you saw these, you'd be like, what's wrong with that? There's fertilizer in here, there's plenty of dirt, there's plenty of water. They just don't grow. But that's my garden update. It's a pretty long one. If you stuck around for the whole thing, thank you very much. Sorry I don't get to update enough to actually get in the pretty bits more often, but I will certainly try. This is what I've been able to achieve this year with a very limited amount of time. So, thank you for watching. Y'all have a good day.